My opponent's first essential argument against my claim will be my significancy claim. Raising the minimum wage will not reduce poverty. It is not included in my argument, but it is stated that it could possibly not be included in my argument. But when I talk about welfare programs in the second point of my significance claim, I broadly speak of a government program that helps those in poverty. The definition of a welfare program is, as put by the federal safetynet.com, is welfare includes government programs to support low-income Americans. The programs provide a safety net to individuals and families to protect them from poverty. So I address poverty subliminally, but decide to focus on the main assistance to poverty rather than poverty itself, since my opponent was speaking of nutritional assistance programs and how they also failed to help families who have two parents working 40 hours a week. As I stated in the quote from James Shirk from the from Heritage Foundation, a substantially large share of workers earning a minimum wage work in the leisure and hospitality sector than workers who are work in the leisure and hospitality sector than workers who are paid exactly minimum wage. This is because federal law allows restaurants to pay hourly rates below the minimum wage, provided that these employees earn more than the minimum wage after tips. So if I were to address that issue, it would probably help if minimum wage were to be addressed. Actually, minimum wage wouldn't be addressed here, but the fact that these companies are paying below minimum wage because they assume that these workers are actually going to get that minimum wage or even higher from tips. Another point that my opponent will tries to make against my claim is that we need to focus on poverty at the national level, not the state level. Her quote was, "These states are ones that don't have a higher minimum wage, and they are the ones suffering with some of the worst poverty rates. The issues of poverty is one that is faced nationally and needs to be addressed nationally, not just state by state. But if we add a minimum wage increase to each state, it could affect the small towns of small states. Like I tried to address before, smaller states have small towns that will not be able to keep up with the increase in minimum wage due to these shops already having sales that could possibly not be reaching their expenditures. According to the Washington Post, even a major city like Seattle has problems maintaining jobs and hours for their workers with the minimum wage hike." According to Max Erfund from the Washington Post, when Seattle officials voted 3 years ago to incrementally boost the city's minimum wage up to $15 an hour, they hope to improve the lives of low-income workers. Yet, according to a major new study that could force economists to reassure past research on the issue, the hike has had the possible effect. The city is gradually increasing the hourly minimum to $15 over several years, although some employers have not been able to afford the increased minimums. They've cut these payrolls, putting off new hiring, reducing hours, or letting the workers go, the study found. The cost to low-wage workers in Seattle outweighed the benefit by a ratio of 3 to 1, according to the study conducted by a group of economists at the University of Washington who were commissioned by the city. On the whole, the study estimated the average low-wage workers in the city lost $125 a month because of the hike in the minimum